Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is our second video of learning System Verilog object-oriented programming. In our past video, we have discussed about the what is OOPS and why it is important. And today we are going to discuss about the OOPS concept like classes and object. It is very important, you can say, in entire System Verilog. So whenever you are writing some piece of code, you will write inside the class. Okay, so it is very important, so you have to take care about this. So I have considered a numerous example also that will clear your understanding well. And also this is my name, I am Kittu Patel, and if you have any query, so you can contact me on this number, and you can also mail me your doubt on this mail ID. Okay, now before further delay, let's start. So what is class in SV? So see, let me give you with a simple example. Suppose you have one wrapper, and inside the wrapper you are writing some properties, or you can say some variables. Let's say you have written int a and then string b. So in the wrapper, so inside a wrapper you have written some properties, and along with that you are writing some subroutines, or you can say that methods, and in layman language you can say task or function. Okay, so you have written some task and function, you have written some variables, or you can say property. So that is nothing but a class. A class is nothing but a data type which encapsulate data, or you can say property and subroutines, which are methods. Okay, so class is, you can consider class as an structure only, whereas structure is our static entity. Here your class is dynamic entity. What does it mean? So see, whenever you are writing code in Verilog, so you are using module. That means your module is a static entity. So you allocate everything at the compile time, and you are not allowed to do any changes during runtime. Whereas in class, it's a dynamic entity. They define their dynamic nature, because here you can create or destroy your object at runtime. So that's why we are using class to access the feature of dynamic entity. Okay, so on you. So that's our major intention of using the class in SV. Okay, now I have written one small piece of code snippet, so you can get the more understanding out of it. So here see, I have written one class. Okay, so this is the class keyword, and I have written one name. So I have considered the name of animal, so I have written the animal. Okay, now I have written class and animal, and then to end the class we have written end class. So suppose module you are writing module and end module. Similar like that also happen in class. So here in class you are writing one class and end class. Okay, so this thing you have written, and then inside the class we have considered one property. So keep this in mind whenever we are declaring the variable. So try to use the term property, because the variable is nothing, or variable you can say the data is nothing but the properties inside the class. So suppose here we have declared one string called a name. So here your name is nothing but a properties of class, and we have also declared one function, and here function is nothing but our subroutines. Okay, so see, it is just naming convention, and our technical industry will follow this naming convention, so we have to adapt them. So you can see function void speak. So here we have considered one properties, you can say, and one subroutines. So here subroutines is basically doing returning a name of the string. Okay, so whatever we are storing in this string, it will give returning the it will returning that label, or you can say it will returning that name. So this is the basic code snippet which I have considered. We will also see in detail like with example, so it will be more clear to you. So here we have done nothing but we have considered one class, and then we have end the class, and the inside the class we have considered one property and one subroutines. Okay, so that's all for the class. Now here you can say object. Now see, let me take the example of structure. Whenever you are declaring the struct, like suppose you have declared one struct, and then you are taking the instance of the struct to access the object which was there inside the struct, or you can say to access the variable of struct. So you are doing something like this: my struct dot a equal to 49. So you are So to allocate the values or to assign the values, you are doing something like this in structure. So similar thing goes with the object also, or you can say class. So here to access the class property and class method, we have to take the instance. Okay. So we have to create handle and take the instance. So here object are created using new. New is nothing but a constructor. New is nothing but a constructor. We will discuss more in detail. It is coming in next slide. So I will discuss what is constructor. But for being now, you can consider object are created using new. So here new is allocating the memory of your object, and we can access all the class member using dot operator. So here what is mean by class member? So class member consists of both data properties and subroutines. So class member include both data properties and subroutine. Now here we have considered the code snippet on how to declare an object, or you can say how to create an instance of the class. So suppose my class name is animal. So you have seen in my previous slide, here we have considered the name of our class as animal. So here you can see we have considered the animal name class, and then we have considered some object. So this is called nothing but an handle. So we have considered one handle, or you can say instance. So we have declared this, and we have written like dog, you can say, and then we are allocating memory. So here we have created object. For suppose you have one class name, let's make give you a simple example. Let's you have class name kit2. So to create object of kit2, I will basically write kit2 class name, and I will take some instance kit2 k1. So here k1 is my instance, or you can say that object handle. Okay, now to create an object, I will basically do k1 is equal to new. So here k1 is equal to new will allocate memory to our k1 object, or you can say k1 handle. Okay, now we are accessing the properties inside our class. So see here I have accessing the property by using my object. So I have written my object name dot name. So our properties name inside the class is name. So we have written dog dot name and whatever value you want to assign. So here we have assigned Tommy. So we have assigned that value, and then we are also accessing our subroutine by using object. Okay. So dot operator is used to access our class properties and subroutines. Okay. So this is the basic architecture or basic flow, you can say, to create an object and a class. Okay. So see, you can understand this concept very well because it will be used in entire UVM, or you can say in entire SV. So this is very much important. So watch this full video. I have discussed five. I have discussed more example in this to get you know that to let so that you can understand this concept very well. Now, what is a constructor? I have explained you like what is new. So new is basically we are using to allocate memory. So that is nothing but a constructor. New we can say it's a constructor. So your constructor is a special function called automatically on new. So whenever we are calling whenever we are calling new, so it will automatically invoke your function new. Okay. So see your function, you can also create your function new inside the class, and keep this in mind. It will not return anything. So you can simply write function new, and whatever argument you have to pass, you can keep this empty also, and then end function. So similar thing you can also able to do. So you use so it is basically also used to initialize your property. So suppose see here we have written a class name student. Now we are considering their name in string and their roll number in like int format. Okay. So see, I am in constructor. I have written two argument. One is string n and the another one is int r. So we are passing it through our object creation. So whenever we are see we are passing it when we are creating our object. Okay. So whenever we are writing new, so in that argument you are passing kit2 and 101. So you see one way is to pass by calling new constructor, and the another way is to pass here only. So you can allow to pass here only. So suppose here in argument it was written like string n. So you can pass it like this, string n is equal to let's say kit2. So you can pass that way also. Okay. So these are the two way to initialize your properties with some values. Okay. So this is nothing but a constructor. Constructor is basically used to allocate memory to our objects. Okay, I hope it is fine. Now, class and inheritance. It is very much important topic. Now, suppose see, let me give you a simple example. Suppose I have to manufacture a car. So suppose this is our car, and you can say this is our blueprint of car. Now I want two car out of it, which have the same property but some different, like you can say, features. One is quite like sporty look, and the another one is basic look. Here, suppose it is Fortuner. I love Fortuner. That's why. And here, suppose it is Creta. Don't offend from this. Creta is also a good car. So yeah. So suppose we have one Fortuner and we have one Creta. So see, the basic rule is that both have four wheels, and you can say both have some steerings, and you can say or many other properties which they are sharing common. They are common. So instead of writing this again and again, we have written this in class, and then in this class, and then from this class we are extending their behavior in different, you can say, class. So that means suppose we have written here like wheels and you can say steering. Okay, now these properties you can say we are extending in this car and also in this car, so we don't have to separately write these properties inside this car. This will automatically will get inherited in both the car. So that's where your inheritance will helpful. So we haven't will declare again and again. Instead of that, we declare in one class and we are extending it if they share a common features. So inheritance is a backbone of your class-based methodology. You can say it's an extended class and it's an extension of base class. So the parent class, you can say here, this is your parent class, is nothing but a base class, you can say. Okay, and this is your child class, or you can say derived class. So your extended class inherited all the properties and method of the base class. So what does it mean? So suppose here we have written two property, wheels and steering. So this both the properties, and suppose we have written one method, let's say display for being now. So this all the properties and method will get inherited by your derived class. Okay, and it will inherited automatically. Okay, so you don't have to much care about this. Now when you construct an extended class type, you are constructing a single object. Okay, so that has all the property of the inherited type. Now both your properties and method of your base class can be overridden in an extended class. So this is very important. So your all base class properties will be overridden in an extended class, or you can add more properties and method, you can say, in extended class. Okay, so suppose I have inherited two properties, let's say wheels and steering, and I have to add extra features like in Fortuner, let's say we have 6 airbags, and in Creta I have to add 4 airbags property. So we can also add some extra properties in our derived class. Okay, so this way you can understand your class, or you can say inheritance. Okay, I hope this is clear. You will never find such content on YouTube, so please try to support us. If you are finding this video useful, then please like our video and also subscribe our channel and also share with your colleagues so that they will get benefited too from this video. Okay, now let's see some other point of extended class and inheritance. So see, whenever you are overriding a property or method in an extended class, it hides your all the properties or method of the base class. It doesn't really override. So what I mean, so suppose you have written wheel. Okay, so you have one property wheel in your base class, or you can say in parent class. Now in Fortuner one, you are writing wheel is equal to 4, and in Creta one, so in Creta car, you are writing wheel is equal to, let's say, 3. This is not possible, but we have written wheel is equal to 3. So if you have written something, so that doesn't mean that you have make changes in their original one. Original one will remain as it is throughout your, so original one will not get reflected by change. So original one will remains unchanged whenever you are doing some changes in the derived class. So keep this in mind. It does not really override because it is the original property or method of the base class. It is still available to other class extended off from the base class. What they want to say, suppose if you want to extend further more car, like suppose here I am writing BMW, so I am also able to do this. So for that wheel, like we can utilize their wheel property. So you can say your actual property or original property will not get override. Now one of the advantage of your inheritance is that like if you make changes in your base class, it will not get propagated on the extended class, not that you can further extend the extended class. So like I want to say, like if you have written the wheels s4, so if you have assigned the value to wheels s4, so it will not get reflected in the another one. You can give separate or you can assign separate value to another one. So was nothing but your original property will not get override. Keep this in mind. Okay, now we can see some example by performing coding, so it will be more clear to you how to create, how to initialize. So see, theory is not much important in class and objects. You can rather practice this as much as you can. So we will start EDA playground and do some coding. Okay, so I have opened my EDA playground. We have considered the three example which will extend your understanding about the which will clear your understanding about the class object and inheritance. We will also see like some more example in my further video because it is very important concept. But for Wing now we have considered the three only. So see, in first example what they want to tell. So write a class. Let me note down here. Let me take it here. So yeah. So see what they want to convey. Write a class. You have to write a class called book. So your class name is book with property title, author, and price. So see, your title should be like in string form. Author name should be in string form, whereas your price should be in integer form. And create two object and print details. So it is very simple. Let me create a class. So suppose we have one class. So let me create one class. So we have written class and then write your class name. So our class name is book. So we have written book. Okay. And now end the class. So end class. Now we have three properties. Okay. So our first property is title, the another property is author, and the last property is price. So suppose string. Okay. So string and then title. So let's say title we have written and then string and the another one is author and the last one is int price. Okay, so we have written title, integer and price. Now let me do and let me create one method so that it will be easy for us to call the method and directly send the values instead of accessing all the properties again and again. So let me create one method function and the return type we can consider the void for Wing now and display function void display and the argument we will pass like a title, author and price you can say. So let's say string title, string author and int price. Okay, so we have created three. So we have passed the three argument. Now let's access this argument, this dot title. I will also explain you why we are using these or super keyword. You will learn in our future video. You oops will require 5 to 6 more video because it is a very comprehensive. It is a very comprehensive topic, so it will require more video. So we will do, but we will not compromise with our quality. We will discuss each thing in detail. Price. Okay. So we have considered title, author, and price. Now let's display here only. So we are using dollar display. And let's say name of book is, let's say percentage s written by percentages and their price is let's say percentage 0d you can say, and then we can write it title, author, and you can say price. Okay, so we have access the three properties. So see here we are just displaying our values which we are passing through, which we are passing from the, which we are passing when we are, which we are passing. Okay, so let's now see our, so see we are done with our class declaration, and so see we are done with our properties and you can say subroutine declaration. Here I have considered three properties and one subroutine. Okay, now let's create an object. So I am writing one module tb and module. If you have any doubt, so you can also mention in the comment. Okay, so I will definitely try to reply your all doubts. So suppose see I have written module and end module. Now let's take a name of our book. So our name of book is book only, and we have to create two objects. So here you can see they have asked us to create two objects. So let's say we have creating b1 and b2. So we have created two objects. Now let's consider initial and begin and then end. Okay, now we have to call our constructor. So v1 is equal to new and b2 is equal to new. So we have called our constructor. That means our object has been created. See here we have like only assign the handle. Here our object is not created, like our class doesn't get a memory allocation, whereas whenever we are doing new, so it will be, it will invoke the new method which will allocate memory to our class methods and properties. Okay, so we have allocated memory. Now let's call the display method by using b1 handle. So b1 dot display, and we are passing argument. So title name is, let's say we can say, let for being now we are writing VLSI. Okay, and let's author name was, let return my name only. Let's write my name only, and the price should be, let's say 349. Okay, it is quite expensive, but 349. And then we will take the object, another object, and now we will take another object. So the object name is b2, b2 dot display. So b2 is also displaying. Now let's say here we are passing, let's say VLSI and then embedded, and let's say here we are writing author name, some author name, like let's say Prexa. So we have written Prexa, and then here the book name is, let's say 987. Okay, so we have written 987 display. So we have written two display. So we have called our like a display method at two to by using two objects b1 and b2. Now let's run this code. So see here we are accessing our both properties and method. See here it is showing that name of book is VLSI written by Kittu and their price is 349. Whereas in the second one, here it is writing that name of book, here it is written that name of book is embedded written by Prexa and their price is 987. So this way you can access your all properties and subroutines outside from the class by using the object. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. We will also provide you the code, so don't worry. For being now I am commenting this. Now let's take the another example. I hope you are enjoying in this session. I will not teach it like that. Here we will create object. So don't expect this from me. We'll learn this concept we have, see what happened in this current scenario. See what happened in this current scenario. I don't want to disclose the thing, but see, I am giving you glimpse. Whenever you are going to a college or some institution, training institute, so they will like, they have to clear the course. They will not focus on you like whether you are learning the thing, whether you are not learning the thing. So my intention was not that, like I want you all to secure some good job. So like that's why I'm putting that much effort, because see right now I'm also working in an industry, so it will become more difficult more for me to manage all this thing like LinkedIn, you can say YouTube, but I'm doing that just for you. So you can also take a chance now. You will also learn this thing, try to implement this thing. Okay. So for being, so for me, you can do this. Okay. And whenever you get placed in some company, so just send me a sweet box. Okay. So I will be more happy. Now let's solve the another one. So see here what they have written. We have to create a class called employee with constructor. Okay, so to initialize name and salary, so here we have to create a class employee and our constructor will initialize their name and salary. So this is also very easy. So we have written one class and the class name is employee corporate mazdoor, I can say. So here employee and end class. Now see, here we have to take two property. One was name and the another one was, you can say, salary. So string name, let's say I have written, and the salary. So int salary. Okay. So we have written the name and salary. Now let's take our constructor. So we are defining our constructor explicitly, or you can say we are defining our constructor manually. So here function new, you can say string and name, and the another one is int salary. And also keep this in mind, your constructor will not return anything. So see, here I haven't include void or return type int something. It will not return anything. So end function. Now let's write it here. This dot name is equal to name. This dot salary is equal to salary. Okay. Now let's use $display. And let's write it here. Let's say some string percentage s is earning. Let's say some integer percentage d 1000. Okay, so I have written it like this. So I have written this. Now let's write name and salary. Okay, I hope this will be clear to you. Now we have written our class. Now let's create our object. So module tb and module. Okay, now we have to take handle of our class. So our class name is employee. So employee, and let's say we are taking instance e1. Now initial begin and end. Okay, now let's create one handle. Now let's create object. So see, e1 equal to new. Now we have to pass argument from here only, because here we are initializing our properties using the constructor. So we are passing from here only. So let's say name, I am giving my name. I'm passing my name, and then let's say my salary was, you can consider 80,000 for being now. Okay, so I have written it like this. Now yeah, so it will be automatically got invoked because we have written the like a new function. So we have written display method. So we have written display system task inside the new constructor only. So it will also like print the value. So let's run the code. Or let Okay, so here you can see finally we have received or get our output. So here you can see kit2 is earning 80,000. So this way you can also initialize your value using the constructor. Okay, now let's see the last example. Let's comment this out. And now let's see the last one. So see what our last example want to say. Like we have to create one base class, or you can say parent class, and with property names and method say hello. So we have to take one property called names and a method name say hello. Okay, now we have to create a derived class teacher that adds subject, property and print. Both name and subject is overridden say hello method. Okay, so now let's do this. So we have to create one class named let's say person. Okay, we have created one class named person and end class. Now let's say we have to take property which called name. So string name and a method. So we have to send void display and let's say end function, and we will pass the values from argument only. So we will pass the value from argument only. So we have written string name. Now let's say this dot. See here we are using these two, but just reduce the ambiguity. This dot name equal to name. Okay. Now let's extend the child class. So here class, and you can say here our child class name is teacher, and we have extending from the person class. So we have to write extends and then person. Okay. So this way you can also extend your class. So we have extended this. Now we have to add a subject property. Okay. So subject should be string. So string, and you can say, let's say subject, string subject, and then we have to and print both name and subject in an overridden class. So we have to print both name and subject in overridden class. So let's say we have written a method name say hello. You can say hello, or you can say like here also we have to take say hello. You can also take display also, but they are asking us, so they are, so in problem statement they are giving us like we have to create the method using say hello name. Okay. So we have written one string name, because see here string name was not written inside the extended class but will automatically get inherited. So we have written string name and then string subject. Okay. And then end function, and then end function. Okay. So now let's display this. So before that, this dot, like you can say name is equal to name, and this dot subject is equal to subject, and you can say dollar display, and then so percentage s sir will teach, percentage s subject. Okay. So we have written it like this, and then name and subject. Okay. So we have created our methods, and also we have created our constructor. So we have also created our subroutines. Now let's end the class. Now see, we have to create a module tb and end module and end module. Okay. So we have created module and end module. Now let's take the instance of our child class. So let's say teacher t1, and we have to give, and we have to allocate the memory. So we have to create an object. So to create an object, we have to call the invoke the automatic constructor. So we have invoked that. Now let's say we are passing the arguments from here only. So t1 dot say hello, and we are passing the string name. So our name is, let's say my name Kittu, and I am teaching, let's say VLSI. So Verilog, let's say Verilog. Okay. So we have written it like this. Now let's run this code. So here you can see that Kittu sir will teach Verilog subject. So this is how you can also utilize the inheritance behavior of OOPS concept. So like this is all for our today videos. We will discuss more in details like what is encapsulation. We will also solve some more problems, super keyword, this keyword, and many more things in our upcoming video. So stay tuned with us. And if you face any difficulties in any practice problem, so you can write it down in comment and also give your feedback in comment so that we can improve our content. Thank you.